So we thought we would answer some questions today relating to the business side of Bake It Pretty. And so we put a call out on Facebook and Twitter if anybody had questions for us. We got some really good ones, I think. So we'll go through maybe a couple today, see what we can get through.
Great.
Are you okay?
I am. I think that sounds great.
Okay. These are kind of just generally related to the supply shop, and some of them are more related to baking. And you might not know that Ian and I both did kind of sort of start a bakery for like 2 months.
Not kind of, sort of. We definitely started a bakery for 2 months and then stopped again.
Kind of as an experiment, and we've shifted to a new baking co-op that lives at the Bake It Pretty Asheville shop.
Baking Collective.
Collective.
Because co-op means movement and carrot chips. So we started a baking collective where we invite people from the community to come in and put their baked goods, in our case, for a really nominal fee, and then they keep 100% of the selling price of their goods. And so what we do is basically just charge enough rent to cover our space. So instead of us baking, we're opening the case to the community to empower people who don't otherwise have a regular outlet for their baked goods.
And this came up because we started the supply shop about a year ago, and I guess due to the decor and our cute little patio and all that, people thought that we were a bakery. And so we kind of wanted to stop saying, we're not a bakery, we're not a bakery. That sounds like, okay, well maybe we could be. Maybe we could do that. So it's maybe about
We couldn't do that.
We couldn't. No, we did, actually. We did, and we enjoyed it, and I think we both knew that it wasn't going to be something that we did forever. And maybe we didn't actually know what we were doing when we started, but it was fun. So, relating to the baking, the actual baking side of it, Devin Johnson asked if we had any bakery experience before we opened our shop, which technically was not a bakery when we opened it, but turned into that. And I guess the big answer to that is no, not at all. I think we both worked in restaurants and service industries and things like that, but as far as being culinarily trained in any shape or form, no.
Not at all. I had started a home-based internet bakery on Etsy where I make all vegan baked goods, and so I was making cupcakes and mailing them with a bag of frosting, a pastry bag of frosting, about 6 months before we started baking in the shop, or 8 months or so. But again, I had no previous experience, and that I sort of fell into that because people told me that they liked my baked goods and thought that I should sell them.
And that's what we get a lot of people say that too. I think someone else even said, I've been told that I should open up a bakery of my own, but I don't own any recipes. And this is from Becky Williams. And I think a lot of people, they're good at what they do. They get recognition from friends and family, and they think, oh wow, this could be something that I could make into a business for myself. And I think starting small is a really, really great way to do that. And that's sort of why we're doing the co-op. It's just a great place to get your feet wet, to try out some recipes, to find what works for you, to see if it's something that you really want to be doing before you, decide to make that leap into a $50,000 loan to get a commercial oven and a retail space and all these things that are a big deal. That's a really big risk. I don't care who you are. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of time. And I'm just a huge advocate of starting as small as you can and thinking big, dream big, but test the waters and start small. You don't have to have money. Don't get caught up in that, oh, I could start this if only I had this money, or if I only had this time. You don't. You can bake tomorrow. You can bake tomorrow and take it to a farmer's market. You can take it to friends at work and see if they'll pay you $1 and give you some honest advice. And that's a great way to start.
Sure. And I think we hear from people a lot actually in the shop that are in a position where they baked for friends or family, they baked occasionally for a party, somebody said, I would like to hire you to bake for my party, whatever, and their business really grew organically through that. And I think that that's a wonderful way to start. I think that was really, there's a fly. I think that was how I started with my internet bakery actually, was because I wanted to have a storefront online where I could basically use PayPal to charge people so that I could be doing things like that. And I feel like it did really grow organically. I think you're exactly right that if you bake occasionally and people are like, oh, we love your baked goods, you should open a place. And the next thing you know, you try and take out a loan and open a place. You have no idea how successful your business is gonna be. And honestly, it takes a long time of trial and error to even finalize your recipes, well, and that's something we need to touch on.
Yeah, that's another great comment from Becky too, that says that I don't own any recipes, how do you start from scratch? And I think that, I don't know if this is like a secret or people don't know this, but there's no such thing as an original cake recipe. There's, nobody baking today is going to start with flour and butter and sugar and relearn this whole process of baking. Everybody starts out learning with the recipes that they have, cookbooks that they have, and people that they know, and you go and you tweak from there. You do have to get comfortable with taking a recipe and changing it up and making it your own. But if you find one from a book that you love that just works great for you as is, use it. Give them credit. It's always great to give somebody credit. But their recipes aren't proprietary. You can't copyright a list of ingredients. You should not copy-paste things from other people's website without their permission or without changing things up. You change up the directions and the process, and you take your own pictures and you make it you. But a list of ingredients, it's free for everybody, which is awesome. So
Absolutely.
Nobody has to reinvent the wheel.
And I think that because baking is a science, it doesn't hurt to look into the science of baking and to say, what does baking soda do versus baking powder? What are the differences? And I think if you're making cake and it's consistently too dense, then it's possible that you should be using soda instead of powder, or you should be using a different proportion. And the only way that you can find those things out is just experiment and trial and trial and trial. And the people in your life are going to love you because you're going to give them a lot of cake.
And it should be fun. You're going to have flops, and you're going to tear your hair out, and cupcakes are going to overflow, and it's going to be awful some days. But that's really part of it. If you're not failing, my opinion, if you don't have some failed batches, then you're not pushing yourself
Absolutely.
to try harder and to be innovative. And I think that's important, especially when there are so many cupcake shops now everywhere. You sort of can't shoot for the middle. It's not a good game plan.
Absolutely.
I hope that this was helpful. We hope that you enjoyed listening to our questions and answers. And if you would like to hear more, follow us on Facebook and we'll put the call out. Send us an email if you have a question, and hopefully we can answer it for you. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye. Adventures in Bake It Pretty. Hey, I'm sorry, we're not open until 11.
Okay. Yes?
Why can't we all just
I
get
think
along?
that's fair.
Man. That's great. So